Back once again for the renegade master. 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 Back once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back. And what are we getting into? We are back to Love is Blind Habibi. We are now on episode 7 and it's called Family Matters. So we're seeing them all going and, you know, trying to meet the families. We start off with Shafiq and Dunya. Shafiq has taken Dunya to Lebanon to go see his grandparents basically because he needs the blessing of his grandparents too. This is the first time as well that Dunya is traveling by herself without her chaperone, aka her mother. Okay, but before we get into this video, as I always ask, please hit that subscribe button so you know I'm doing videos. Please comment, like, share, and do all the things that you do. You know what, I've even done my intro wrong. That's how long I ain't been on this for. I will start again. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button so you know when I do videos. Please comment, like, share, and do all the things that you do because I am on the road to 1K. So let me get my brain into action, shall I, and chat about this episode. So basically his grandparents do have like a gorgeous place and you can see that they love their grandson Shafiq completely. It's like he honestly can't do no wrong in their eyes at all. They greet Dunya, they believe that she's a lovely girl for their grandson. Dunya and Shafiq do explain the concept of the show to them. And so the grandfather is basically saying that in regards to them, no one should be involved in this, meaning that, like, you know, what is happening with Dunya and Shafiq, and it's about respect because we know that it's coming out at the moment that Dunya and Shafiq are arguing like cat and dog at the moment. Basically, they're both stubborn, they both get jealous in certain scenarios, but they don't know how to temper that. They don't know how to communicate their feelings appropriately with each other. So Dunya does ask them, do you believe in love or compassion and mercy? And the grandmother does say to Dunya that it should be both. There should be love and respect basically, but it's how much they respect each other, because Shafiq has not been too respectful towards Dunya, especially when Dunya raises her view and how she looks at things. And especially when, you know, we know in the last episode when Shafiq was speaking to his dad, all the complaints that he made about Dunya, basically in terms of the fact that she's never had a boyfriend before, even though he likes that aspect about her, because at the end of the day, it's going to be down to Shafiq to give her the overall idea of what a boyfriend is about and how she is to react and act within that relationship, not realizing though that, you know what, he could be lacking for her but she won't be able to put a finger on it about what it is that's lacking in him because she don't have that experience basically. So Dunya speaks of you know, her and Shafiq being stubborn and wanted to know if them being stubborn is okay. And I was like, okay, so Miss Dunya, where's all these questions come from? Because when Dunya was with his parents, that girl was tight-lipped. She was very respectful. She weren't asking no questions at all. But I think now she's got to the grandparents, she can like relax a little bit. And I think she's thinking, well, these are the types of questions my mama would be asking, so let me ask them as well. Do you know what I mean? So the granddad basically said that since you both of you are stubborn, it's basically letting Shafiq speak, yeah, and then let him be for 5 or 15 minutes before you go and speak to Shafiq. And I'm like, okay, that's you telling Dunya how to deal with Shafiq and his like broad back self when he gets all in a tizzy. Do you know what I mean? But how does then is Dunya able to express like her things that she's going through if Shafiq is not willing to listen to it at that point in time? So every minute she's got to literally step away from this guy, give him his space and hope that he comes back to be in a better mind than to talk to her. Okay, all I'll say is okay. Do you know what I mean? So the grandfather does take Shafiq to one side and basically tells Shafiq that if you respect Dunya, then Dunya is going to respect you, which is true. Basically he can't keep being combative. Both of them can't keep being combative at the end of the day, because that's what it seems like. It seems like they both keep clashing with each other and they don't know how to work through it. So the grandfather then spoils it by saying, it seems Dunya is more educated in one manner rather than the next. And I was like, well, damn. Okay, say how you really feel. I really don't think that these two will get married, to be honest with you, because Shafiq has too many doubts and they're not working cohesively together as they should be. So you see Dunya talks to the grandmother about Shafiq, and she's trying to find things out about Shafiq and how he is. And I mean, it's his family. They're not going to say anything bad about him at the end of the day, are they? They're going to cream him up, to be honest with you. The same as Dunya's family will cream up Dunya and not really say, well, she's lacking in this, you know, and she's a bit poor in this area. They're not going to say them things about Shafiq. So, as I said, I already said, the grandparents love Dunya, like absolutely love Dunya. So you see Asma and Hatab, they meet at the gym. Asma wants to basically share a routine with him. He's doing it. No word of a lie. The man's doing it at the end of the day. So Asma is loving the fact that Hatab is willing to do things that she likes to do, and it makes her want to move on to the next level with him, and basically makes her love him more. I still hold my reservations with Asma. I really don't want to, because I see that she is really trying with Hatab, and Hatab, you can see, loves the bones off that girl. But I am holding reservations at this point in time until I kind of see where it is going with them two. So Asma's sister, Nihal, basically Asma has told Hatab that she's going to, like, her mum and dad, their mum and dad, to explain what is happening. So Asma is hopeful that her sister will be able to explain things better than she would do, basically, in terms of making her parents understand that this is the man that she's picked. He's a good man. Please, I want to get married to him. Basically, they want the blessing. Without that, them two are not going to get married. They really aren't. To me, I understand that it's the culture and it's their tradition in terms of how they introduce a person into the family. But I'm also of the vein is, like, you know, your kids are grown, they're adults. You've got to trust in their decision making. If they've picked someone that they see as their life partner, they've picked them for a reason at the end of the day. And it'll be a case of her parents, Asma's parents, are now holding that ball of happiness that she really wants, that acceptance that she really wants from them, in their hands, basically. So she's beholden to her parents right about now, and in part so's Hatab, because their relationship or their communion can't move any further forward if these parents are not involved 100 with Asma. So basically Hatab does ask Asma, well, what have you said to your parents? And she says that she's talked to her mom and dad every day, but it's what she's talked about with them in regards to this experience has not registered with them, which is not great. So I do wonder, well, what is it that Asma is telling them at the end of the day that they're not connecting, they're not getting this? So basically it makes Hatab stressed and nervous, which it would do. It make anybody stressed and nervous. So Hatab returns to the home, and his mom and his uncle has come to visit. He sits down and has a chat with his uncle, because he's really close with his uncle, and tells him about the experience. His uncle is basically happy with that Hatab has connected with someone, and he talks about the traditions in terms of when it comes to the family meeting. And Hatab then explains to his uncle the customs of Asma's family, in terms of saying that, you know, Asma's family live in Canada. And basically, it appears, as the uncle said, that Hatab must meet them before they meet with his family, as they need to consider whether Hatab is going to fit within their family unit, as in whether they approve Hatab. So that's a lot of pressure on both of them. It is a really lot of pressure on both of them, because what happens if they don't click with Hatab? What happens if they believe that he's not a good fit for their daughter, thus then not a good fit for their family? We'll just have to see how that works out. It won't be, as Hatab said, appropriate for Asma to meet his mum and his family first, like his mum and his uncle first, because it's not within the traditions, and plus the fact that Aspa's been born a girl basically, so this is the way that it has to go, and that's what he's following. Tradition is tradition at the end of the day, and Asma doesn't wish to break it, and neither does Hatab. So they respect that. They do respect that. His uncle says to him that the decision when it comes to love is a couple thing at the end of the day, but when it comes to them settling down, it's a full-on family decision, as they will be joining two families and then creating grandchildren within that family. So all I kept on thinking was, I understand the tradition, but what about respecting the choice of your adult child at the end of the day? I know they want to make sure that they've both made the right choice with each other, but it just comes down to actually your child, you've grown your child up to this point that they're an adult. There has to come a point where they're going to have to make their own decisions, and you be happy and for them in the decisions that they do make. There's only 3 couples left at this moment in time. So you got Mohammed and Safa, you got Dunya and Shafiq, and you got Asma and Hatab took together, and they have these little get together as they do, like, you know, as they do in the Love is Blinds, all the other cast, some of the cast members come in and stuff like that. So Safa has the conversation with them all in terms of how people have felt in regards to meeting parents and stuff. So Asma and Hatab can't say much in this because that's where their problem lies. They're not able to meet families just yet. The only people that have actually integrated families at this moment in time is Shafiq and Dunya at the end of the day. So they do have that conversation in regards to how it was meeting each other's families. So then you see the girls go off in their little group to have their little chat, and you see the lads go off in their group to have a little chat. You see Shafiq actually get up off the chair and go and open the door. So I was like, okay, so who's coming in? And in walks into the restaurant is Karim. And I was like, okay, because don't forget, Safa and Asma both had a connection with Karim, but I think Safa's connection with Karim was more prominent than what Asma's was. So Karim did go over to the women and introduce himself to them, and you could see that Safa was hella excited to meet him basically. And as she does say that Karim is an amazing person, but Mohammed is Mohammed. I was like, well, what the hell does that mean? Because I don't understand that. Does that mean like the person you really wanted to pick, like, you know, is the amazing person, but you know, you've chose your lot in life? I don't know. You like can let me know what you think he meant in the comments anyway. So the lads do end up taking a little bit of the piece out of Amar in the fact that he got dumped by Karma, but they believe that Karma chose dancing over him, and it's not correct. Karma chose herself over Amar, to be fair, at the end of the day. So this is why I keep saying to you that Shafiq is a carbon copy, or trying to be a carbon copy of Amar when it comes to his views, because he believes that Amar was right in what he did and what he said to Karma, right? And he believes that Karma was wrong. And I'm just like, what's wrong with men like Amar and Shafiq at the end of the day? They see the world, yeah, and the women standing in it as very low, like it's below them, and the women have to follow exactly what it is that they're saying they need to do in order to present themselves as their wife. It's all I'm gonna say, toxic masculinity. That's where that is lying for me. And this is why I say it won't be any different for Dunya if she does marry Shafiq at the end of the day. So Karim looks to be taken by Safa at the end of the day. He does call her a beauty, which she is. He is happy for Mohammed, but you can see that Mohammed is watching closely in regards to their interchange with each other, because Karim is just like looking at Safa like he has all the stars in his eyes. So the girls go over and literally join the table with the guys. So at that point, it's when Dunya talks about like seeing the others and wonder who else is going to walk in, that freaking the ice queen herself, Noor, walks in through the door. Dunya was like, no, oh my God, I can't fucking believe this. Yes, my love. the producers were dirty with that one night, that she just walked in like she owned the place. Shafiq was smiling like a damn hyena, but then acting all demure. So every time, like when Noor came over and shook hands with people as she went along, yeah, Shafiq was sitting there like, but trying not to look at her, but looking at her and trying to be sheepish about it. That's how Shafiq was being. I thought, my guy, literally sit up, hold your head up. If you're going to look at the gal, look at the gal. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, you and Dunya are going to have some type of argument about it. If she thinks she can, you're going to talk to this girl in any way, shape or form. Anyway, we shall move on. So Shafiq tells Dunya basically not to give Noor a reaction at all. As we all know, Noor will keep playing in Dunya's face like she does because she knows Dunya is insecure when it comes to Shafiq. So this is what Noor does. She's a bit of a mean girl at the end of the day, just like Hajar was. So it seems that Karim and Noor actually like each other, and the reason why they become a little bit connected to each other is because they're both nastily sarcastic about shit, like, and this comes out when they're having their discussion with the group as a whole. Yeah, like Karim can throw those little poison darts and be petty with it the same way that Noor is. They're both mean, and Noor likes that. As I said, real recognizes real up in here at the end of the day. So as they're talking to each other, who should walk in through the motherfucking door but Mido? I was like, okay, now you're playing stupid. You're playing stupid because you know exactly what you're doing. So he shook Noor's hand but didn't really want to. So all I thought is, oh my God, please don't let Amar and Karma come into the same spot, because that would just dead the whole episode then and there. So I'd have to say Mido looks good, you know, and he is not bothered by Noor, but you can see that Noor wants the attention from him, but he ain't going to give her that attention. So basically the lads wanted to know what was happening with Mido, besides his new tattoo, this gaudy big tattoo that he's got on his forearm, which supposedly means warrior. Ugly looking freaking tattoo, that's all I'm going to say. It was not nice. So he basically says that he's met a new girl from Egypt, because he's Egyptian too. And the audacity of Noor when she's talking to the cameras is she thinks that Mido made it up to make her look, or try and make her look jealous. I was like, I told you this girl is so far up her own A, like seriously so far up her own A that she cannot see through the sheet that's marring her vision. Like seriously, why would he sit there and say something like that just to try and get you? Because man is not interested in Noor in the slightest, but she don't seem to get that. She doesn't at all. So Dunya asked Noor if she had met someone. So this is where Noor decides to have a dig at Mido, basically by saying, you think I have such standards that I meet someone in one day? I'm just like, my girl, wind your neck in. Wind it all the way in. That's all I can say when it comes to Noor, like seriously. So Dunya asked the group, what is it you learned from this experience? Mido pipes up and says, love is never blind. I was like, hi. This night is gonna get petty between Mido and Noor. Like seriously, because at the end of the day, Noor has been digging at Mido since he walked through the door. So Mido is showing his petty side right about now. So then Dunya kicked it in when she said a lot of people, meaning Noor, are concentrating on the looks and nothing else. I was like, okay, I was waiting for Noor to say something back, yeah, because this girl had a lot of mouth for Mido and for Dunya, but she was tight-lipped right about this point in time. Noor, as I've said already in previous episodes, just wanted the airtime. I don't even know why she came to this little shindig, to be honest with you, because I know the producers would have probably went back and asked each of the cast members that are no longer there if they'd be willing to go to this thing. So I don't understand why Noor went there, to be honest. So Karim basically tried to be the voice of reason within this little debacle. and said that, like, you know, he could see where Noor and Mido were in that sense, and he had respect for both of them and the reasonings as to what this experience provided to them. I was just like, yeah, nah, no, 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 no. You can't stand on the fence with them two, because Noor was absolutely awful to me, though, like seriously awful. But literally wants to sit there like she's the victim of Noor's of Mido's behavior. It makes no sense to me. So Noor basically showed everyone at the table what she was like, what she was like, completely what she was like. And all I would say is, any man, including Harim, with a lick of sense, needs to keep away from this girl. Like, seriously. Even Shafiq was mad by what Noor said, because basically what she was trying to say is that none of the people in there had standards, and she's the only one with standards. So she was saying all of the girls and all of the men had no standards in regards to the people that they picked. So Shafiq was not happy with what she said, and also felt that Noor brought the vibe down. I thought, brought the vibe down? She literally slapped it into the gutter, mate. Like, seriously slapped it into the gutter. So Safa breaks the ice with Karim to ask him if he's changed. And he said no, he came in real and left real. And I'm like, my guy, you didn't even answer that question, because you know what it is that you needed to change and understand in regards to checking yourself and your emotions. But he's done neither of that, because this man is like as cold as ice, to be honest with you. He really is. He would be suited to Noor, to be honest with you, because that's the type of person that he wants, not someone that he has to literally open his heart to. Noor don't want that shit. Like, she just wants to be pretty and you give her things. That's about it. Karim said that what he'd learned was he should not follow his heart, as it won't get him anywhere. And this is where you have to leave Karim where he is at the end of the day. He won't get the wife that he's particularly looking for, because women have emotions and they want their man to be on level, on par with the emotions that they do show, and to be able to show and reciprocate those emotions back. Harim is not nowhere near there. He's not going to do that, at all. Asma asked me though, how was the experiment for him? And he said some people were not worth the try. And he tapped Asma and says, not you. Nor overheard him. She's trying to talk to Hatab and not listen to what it is, what's going on around her. But she overheard this man. And this is why I say this man is too petty. He's way too petty for his own rotted good. So basically, before the end of this like little scenario that they put together with all of the couples, you see Harim goes over to Noor basically, so he makes a play for her. So I was like, oh, he's making a run for his own back with that one. I said, she's cold, he's emotionless, it could work between them, do you know what I mean? So he apologized to Noor for making assumptions about her in the past, to which she accepted, and then he asked her out to dinner. And I was like, okay, well then, do your thing, Harim. Do your thing. It switches off now to Mohammed going to meet Safa's mother and brother, and I thought, right, thank the Lord, it's about time that this has happened. So Safa's brother and her sister-in-law and their daughter is there too. So Safa really wants them to approve of Mohammed. So the sister-in-law said to Mohammed, like, you have only known Safa for a month. Do you feel that you actually know her? Mohammed said he knows her enough, and they keep throwing in questions like he's in the dock, like he's on trial. It was poor Mohammed was all over the place. He was like, shit, what have I walked into? Do you know what I mean? But he tried his best. Let's just put it this way, he tried his best. So basically, when Safa and her brother go into the kitchen, Safa, of course, is going to ask her brother, well, what did you think? And the brother says that he likes Mohammed and he didn't see any red flags that he can see. He feels that Mohammed is honest and is ready to get married and start a family. So it works out for Safa of where she wants her family to be. She wants her family to approve of this man that she actually does want to marry. All I'm going to say is Mohammed tried to answer the questions to the best of his ability, because they were coming out like a freaking bullet out of a gun, man. So Safa's mom does turn around to him and say, wow, you know about Safa's schedule and how will you deal with that. So Mohammed didn't come out and literally say to them that he has an issue in regards to, like, you know, the schedule that she's going to have for the next 3 years. He just basically said that he won't deny Safa her happiness, especially if she's working on a project. And I'm like, okay, he's placating the mother. He is saying what the mom wants to hear at this point in time, but him and Safa both know that this man does have a certain issue when it comes to thinking that, you know what, as soon as they get married, 3 days later his wife is going to be flying out basically and be away for that whole weekend and not be coming back till the Monday, and that's going to be the pattern for 3 years. So it's how he's going to literally cope within that, because he'll be essentially on his own. Safa's family approve. So I do see these two getting married. I really do see these two getting married. So Safa is now waiting to meet Mohammed's parents, and I'm just like, I hope it happens soon for her, because I don't think she'll be able to literally go through with it if she doesn't get the approval or the traditional engagement or what have you proposal that she's waiting for in regards to Mohammed and her traditions. So Asma and her sister meet up. I've noticed through part of this that Hatab has not met Asma's sister as yet, and I was thinking, well, seeing the difficulties with the parents, that doesn't stop her sister from meeting him. So her sister is telling her, like, you know, she needs the details from Asma because she herself doesn't really understand what is happening. And I'm like, Asma, how are you explaining this to your people then? Like, seriously, that's the question for me. Like, why is your sister coming back and saying, oh, I need you to make me understand what is happening so I can literally lay this down for our parents? Because shouldn't she already be aware, because she'd already gone over there to explain the situation to the parents in the first place? So I'm not too sure what's going on there. So Asma is telling her sister all about Hatab and his background. And I was just like, how she must not have been speaking to her people correctly in regards to what it is that Hatab does, like how he is as a person, what she likes about him, what she loves about him, why she wants to marry him, all of that kind of thing. It's just kind of like, it seems like there's a gap there. So Asma says she spoke to her parents and basically they are not convinced about the relationship that she has with Hatab is serious. And I'm just like, this impression has got to come from somewhere. Like, seriously, the impression that they're having has got to come from somewhere for them to feel that this is not serious between their child and the man that she decided to pick to marry. But we'll carry on. So the sister basically said that she did talk to their mum and dad. And she says she understands what Asma is going through when it comes to Hatab, and that the potential, that there is potential with them at the same time. But she also understood where their parents are coming from. Her parents don't believe that what's happening is logical, and they said that they need time to let it sink in. So I honestly believe that Hatab and Asma won't get married on this show, and it's going to be another hurdle for them to jump over before they can get to a happily ever after, if that's still what Asma wants with Hatab, as her parents and her sister, to a point, have literally thrown a spanner in the works for both of them. It seems as though Asma has given her sister the power to have the okay, do you know what I mean, in regards to where it goes, even though Asma is the older child, the older daughter, you know. Yeah, she doesn't act like the older daughter at all. So her sister basically wants to meet Hatab first. I for one, I understand that there's customs, there's cultures, there's traditions going on here that I would not understand. But I think it's for me in terms of giving some people so much power over your life, like in terms of the person that you pick, and you've given that power as well to your sister. There's gonna be, yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know with this one. So Dunya is going over to Shafiq's home to see where he lives. Shafiq didn't really tidy up, but it ain't a grotty place. Like, yes, his shoes were not on a rack set by the door as Dunya wanted them to be. He had like a container with Coke in it, not Coke the drug, but Coca-Cola the drink. That he said was there from like a day ago or 2 days ago, but he still drank from it, stuff like that. So it's little things like that at the end of the day. His place were messy. Do you know what I mean? But Dunya was nitpicking, like honestly nitpicking. I really don't understand what she was moaning about, because we've seen worse. When it's these Love is Blinds, we have seen absolute shit tips when they've gone to people's houses. So I don't understand what she was moaning about, to be honest with you. So Dunya does throw a spanner in the works, as Shafiq agrees that, you know what, the space that they're in is a little bit small, but he was thinking about looking for something bigger if they were to get married. But within the 6-month time frame, they would still live at the place that she's come to. But basically, Dunya's talking about how she wants her mum to be happy. So I don't know if she's thinking that, you know what, wherever they move to, mum will move there too. And I'm just like, come on, love. I know she loves her mum. She loves her mum absolutely deeply, yeah. But now you're of a certain age, yeah, you are looking to get married. You can't continue to hold on to your mum's apron strings, as it were, because you're going to have a different relationship with your husband than what you would have with your mum at the end of the day. Dunya does love his place, to be fair. She thinks it's a nice place. But again, I do think she's borrowing trouble when she talks about, like, when she sees Shafiq's lifestyle, it makes her anxious. And I'm like, what lifestyle is she really talking about? Because I don't really know what she's talking about or alluding to at the end of the day. So the next thing you see is Safa and Mohammed go jewelry shopping, and they both choose their engagement ring and the wedding rings. Basically, Mohammed says the preparation is going well, and it seems Safa will meet Mohammed's family at long last before the wedding. He does say that he's worried about it. So we then move to Asma and Hatab, and Hatab is meeting Asma's sister. It goes really well. She does like him, because this basically meeting is for her to validate Asma's decision and go back and have that another chat with the parents in regards to how important Hatab is to Asma and what she's seen, what she's heard, what they've spoken about, and how she views Hatab at the end of the day. So Nihal tells them that she wants to support Asma, but she can't place any more pressure upon their parents. These two are not getting no blessing to get married. They're not going to get married in this season of Love is Blind. I'm telling you that now. So Hatab basically said, okay, then if that's the case, would it be possible, like, he asked permission from both Asma and from Nihal if he could speak to the parents in terms of like a Zoom call or a telephone call. And Hatab understands that it's not traditional, but I think he just wants to show ways in which for them to get to know him and know who he is as a person, so they can have a little bit more understanding on top of that. So as again, the sister is impressed with Hatab. They both agree that yes, we'll try and set something like that up. So you see Dunya and Shafiq meet the wedding planner. Them two look like brother and sister to me when they're sitting together. No word of a lie when they are. So you see Shafiq has a lot of ideas. Dunya doesn't say much, but it seems that she likes the ideas that he's putting forward. Then it comes to, as I will call, the feather gate, because Dunya seems to like feathers in things that don't need the feathers in a wedding. Like, the pictures that they were showing didn't really suit the mood of what it was that they were going for and the colour scheme that they were going for, to be honest with you. So this is where you see Dunya and Shafiq again worlds apart with each other and not matching the vibe of what's happening with each other. So the wedding planner does say that, you know what, Shafiq is basically umpire. He knows what he wants and he says what he wants and he doesn't veer from that, whereas Dunya is a bit of a dreamer, basically, and she doesn't really know what she wants. All I want to say is Shafiq's styles that he picked were really good. I don't know what Dunya was going on with, but it just weren't, it just weren't flying. But she didn't seem to see that there was an issue there, because I think Dunya was thinking that this is my day rather than thinking it's both our days and we both should have a say in it. Yeah, but I would say Shafiq that was a little bit overbearing, because he was always overseeing her her decisions in terms of what she said and what he thinks in that regard. So yeah, so it does kind of get worse as the wedding planner turns around and says, well, you know, when it comes to the wedding that you will be asked if you're going to say yes or no, and hopefully it's a yes. And Shafiq goes like that. I was like, oh my God. Dunya doesn't actually see what he does, or kind of sees. And he says that he's joking, but I don't think that was funny at all. But Dunya actually doesn't get what he means by doing that. It means not sure love. So as it continues on, and they're both getting going separate, splitting off in terms of their decisions of this wedding and these freaking feathers, yeah. Dunya turns around and said that she wanted her mum there, basically, because she says that her mum makes the best decisions and Dunya always takes her mum's advice. Shafiq was not happy with that comment, because at the end of the day, Shafiq believes that Dunya goes to her mother too much for everything, especially when things happen between us. And he believes that there's 3 people in the relationship right now, him, Dunya and her mother, and what he wants is Dunya to literally cut those apron strings a little bit in regards to the mum. Like, he respects Dunya's mum, but she can't be within their relationship all day every day, because at the end of the day, what Dunya's not realizing in going to her mum over every little thing, if they have little disagreements, little arguments, it's just literally giving her mum a perspective or a view on the person that her daughter's married or potentially marrying at the end of the day. And she isn't going to take the side of Shafiq. She's going to take the side of her daughter and probably get up in the middle of their marriage or their relationship. So Dunya kind of needs to start thinking, how will I rectify this? How am I going to communicate how I'm feeling appropriately to the man that I say that I love, rather than involving her mother in everything? Because I understand she's close to her mother. At the end of the day, she ain't really been out of her mother's sight since the day that she was born to the adult that she's got to. And essentially, whenever she's gone places, she's always had a chaperone in her mum. So her mum's been in her back pocket 24/7 at the end of the day. So basically, her mum has not given her daughter that space to breathe, especially when she got to adulthood, in order to make her own decisions and to be able to communicate effectively when there's an issue. So we see Safa and Mohammed, and you see Mohammed's father has come from Jordan, basically. So they are going to ask for Safa's hand in marriage from her brother, from her mother, and I believe as well from the daughter-in-law. So they go and meet Safa's brother. This is why I love traditions so much, because this was absolutely beautiful. So it's Mohammed's father that does the talking, because it's then tradition for Safa's brother to accept and approve the engagement, or the or the asking of the hand in marriage, because that's what Mohammed's father is doing on behalf of his son, basically. It was lovely. I'm gonna say it was lovely to watch. So after the brother approves and says what he has to say in regards to Mohammed, you see Safa come in with her mother and the sister-in-law, and they're doing all the tongue vibrations and all of that. I can't do it myself. I wouldn't even try to. But you know what I mean. So Mohammed then provided Safa with a necklace from his mother. It was a present from his mother to her. And then he presents her with the engagement and the wedding ring, which he places on her right hand for now. But it's in terms of the promise, because what I've noticed, it then switches to her left hand at the end of the day. So it's on her right hand and then switches to her left hand. And I'm just like, yeah, it's real. Ain't no way about it now. It's completely real between these two. So we go to Dunya and Shafiq. They both say that they feel good about the wedding, but they're stressed. these two are not going to make it, like, seriously. So basically Shafiq talks about how him and Dunya have been fighting a lot, and that they need to open their hearts more before the marriage. And basically I just think what needs to happen for them both is to not to be together or say no for right now, and work on each other, work on how they connect with each other, because it just ain't working right about now. And I think being married is going to make it worse for them. So Shafiq basically is trying to compare how much pressure he feels against how much pressure Dunya may feel, because he sees her looking relaxed, basically. What Shafiq needs to do is stop judging Dunya by his own freaking yardstick at the end of the day, because they are not the same people and they're not feeling the same things. People cope in different ways when it comes to pressure. So Shafiq may be all and you will see when he's stressed, whereas with Dunya, she may be feeling all those anxious feelings inside, but not necessarily show it in her presentation. So Dunya does speak like about her mum being everything for her, and basically this is where she gets upset when she talks about a broken shoulder, which signified her father, because her father's no longer there, or hasn't been involved with the family, or walked away from them when she was quite young. So her mum has literally stepped into that role. It does take Shafiq a while before he literally comforts Dunya, you know. And so basically she's saying there's no person in the world that will take her mother's place. But Dunya also has to realise that her mother is her mother always, but her husband will be someone different to her. So she has to at least find a place on par with her mother, as she does with the husband. She needs to place him somewhere of importance at the end of the day, because her mother can't take place in everything. So basically you can tell that Dunya does miss the presence of her father. So she tells Shafiq exactly where she is. So basically Shafiq needs to stop assuming that Dunya is not feeling what he's feeling as well. So Shafiq is saying that whatever happens between them, that Dunya cannot keep running to her mother and telling her things that need to be kept between the both of them. And I was like, okay, as I've already said, that doesn't bode well at the end of the day. Shafiq says that she has to cut that apron string to her. Let's just put it this way. Shafiq does not term things in the best of ways, yeah, which then sets Dunya off, because she doesn't understand exactly what it is that he's saying, because she thinks he's coming off with, you need to stop talking to your mum so much. You need to stop having this type of relationship with your mum. Basically, I'm the head here. You need to put your mum back a step. And as she said, no one's going to come between her and her mother. No man has ever come to a space where anybody could come between her and her mum. And I think Dunya is probably thinking, in the way that Shafiq is speaking, that he's trying to come between her and her mother, which ain't going to bode well with them two at the end of the day. So Dunya is basically saying, when she's talking to the cameras, that her dignity is high and she won't allow anyone to hurt her. And then you have Shafiq saying that he wanted to take Dunya in his arms when she was crying, but this time he couldn't. His heart told him to do it, but his head was telling him don't. So then it ends basically with Shafiq saying there, as I said previously, there are three of them in their relationship. So this is where this episode ended. I'll be back in quick succession with the next episode. Please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that notification button so you know when I'm doing videos. Please comment, like, share, and do all the good things that you do, because I am on the road to 1K. And I'll speak to you all again soon, my people. Peace out.